I'm going to read the Little Prince chapter 5, The Danger of Baobab Trees. Baobab trees grows in Africa, especially in Madagascar. Is the island where the Baobab trees live, and Baobab trees are very unique trees, and which has big stem, and it's wonderful to see the baobab trees. For Sanctuary today, I worked in Africa as a pilot, and he could see baobab trees a lot. He must have been impressed by the baobab trees. So, and then he mentioned about the baobab trees in his book, The Little Prince, chapter 5. As each day passed, I would learn in our talk something about the Little Prince's planet, his departure from it, his journey. The information will come to very slowly, and it might chance to form these thoughts. It was in this way that I heard on the third day and about the catastrophe of the Baobab. This time, once more, I asked you to sanguine. But the Little Prince asked me abruptly, as if seized by a grave thought, "It's true, isn't it, that she eat those bushes?" "Yeah, that's true." I'm glad. I did not understand why it was so important that sheep should eat bushes, but the Little Prince said it. And to forward, they also eat baobabs. I pointed out to the Little Prince that baobabs were not little bushes, but on the contrary, trees as big as castles, and that even if he took a whole herd of the elephants away with him, the herd wouldn't eat up one single baobab. The idea of the herd of the elephants made the Little Prince laugh. "We would have to put them one on top of the other," he said, but he made his wisest comment. "Before they grow so big and the baobabs will start out and by being little." "That is strictly correct," I said, "but why do you want the sheep to eat the little baobabs?" He answered me at once. "Oh, come," as if he were speaking of something that was self-evident. But I was obliged to make a great mental effort to solve this problem without any assistance. Indeed, as I learned, there were on the planet where the Little Prince lived, as on all planets, good friends and bad friends. In consequence, there was good seeds upon good friends, and bad seeds upon bad friends. But seeds are invisible when they sleep deep. The heart of the earth is darkness until someone among them is seized with the desire to awaken. And then this little seed will stretch its out and begin, timidly at first, to push a charming little sprig and offensively upward toward the sun. Tease on is part of the lettuce show the sprig of a rose bushes one would let it grow, and whenever it might wish it, but when it is a bad plant, one must destroy it as soon as possible, the very first instant that one recognizes it. Now, there were some terrible seeds on the planet that was the home of the Little Prince, and these were the seeds of the baobab. The soul of that planet was infested with them. A baobab is something we'll never be able to get rid of if you attend to it. It spread over the entire planet. It bores a clear through it with its roots, and if the planets is too small, the baobab are too many, they split in pieces. "But it's a question of discipline," the Little Prince said to me later on. "When you finish your own toil in the morning, then it's time to attend to the toil of your planets. Just so, with the greatest care. You must see to it that it's full up to level all the baobabs at the very first moment when they can be distinguished from the language to which they resemble so closely in their residues is very tedious work. The little prince added, but very easy. And one day he said to me, "You ought to make a beautiful drawing so that the children where you can see exactly how this is. That will be very beautiful to them if they were to travel someday." Sometimes they get it. There's no harm in putting off a piece of work until another day, but when it is a matter of Baobabs, always means a catastrophe. I knew a planet that was inhabited by a large man he neglected 3 little bushes. So the little prince described it to me. I have made a drawing so different that I do not much like to take the tone of them more least, but the danger of the Baobab is so little understood, and such a considerable risk would be overrun by anyone to whom might get lost on an asteroid. Therefore, once I am breaking through my reserve of children, I say, "So pay me what I have to for the Baobab." My friends, like myself, have been skirting the distance for a long time without ever knowing it. I say this for them that I have worked so hard and know this drawing the lesson which I had to pass on. By this means it was all the trouble it has caused. Perhaps you will ask me, so why are there no other drawing in the book as magnificent and impressive as these drawings of the Baobabs? The reply is simple. I've tried, but with the others that I have not been successful. When I made the drawings on the Baobabs, I was carried beyond myself by the inspiring force of the urgent message. Okay, finished reading.